Hi, today I'm gonna show you how I make these. These are the body candles. They have a little booty, little boobies, and a vagine. They're super cute. They're about 10 centimeters tall, just kind of fit in my palm, and they sit nicely, just like on a, I'll show you. They sit here nicely, just like standing up. So yeah, they're not too hard to make, and I can show you. So what I use is I've ordered this mold here. I ordered it on AliExpress. It was about $15 to order. When I make these, I sell these for $15 each. So one mold for $15 and then sell these for $15. So if I sell, you know, more than one of these, then it's pretty much paying the mold off. So mold is really good priced. It's quite good quality. It's like super bendy, and it doesn't rip or anything. So it arrives like this, and then I cut a slit just in the side here. And so that just makes it easier. So if I'm popping it out, you know, it's much easier to get out. And then I just put a hole like right in the bottom there for the wick. So this is the mold that I use. I then obviously have a wick, which I just order from like an online candle making like supplies store in New Zealand. So I put the wick in there. And then I have like these strings that I just tie around the mold. So I'll show you when I do it. So I tie them around, and that like holds the slit so it doesn't spill out. I also put a couple of pegs on the side so the wax doesn't come out the side. And then I have like a wick holder. It's got a bit of wax on it, but there's a hole in there, and that's where the wick will sit in, and so it like holds the wick, because once this gets heated, like from the hot wax, it'll get all bendy. And so I have this so it holds it straight up in place, so then if you burn the candle, it will be like straight, if that makes sense. And then I have, so I'm just going through like what I use to make them. So it's not too many things, and it's super cheap. And so I have just one of these little medicine cup things that just measures like how many milliliters. So this is for my scent. And then a thermometer. So, sorry, it's got a bit of wax, but this will just tell me how hot my wax is. You need to get the wax to a certain temperature, depending what wax it is, but I use natural palm and soy wax combination. And so you have to heat it to a certain point before you add the scent in, and then you need to heat it a bit further to get it to your pour temperature. So there are different kinds of temperatures. If you want more information about this, then like just let me know, and I can do another video on what kind of temperatures and pour temperatures and scent temperatures I use. And so then I also add in this universal additive, is what it's called. And so this just like helps the scent bond better, and if I'm putting a color in it, then it just like helps it color better, really. And then I have a whole bunch of dye blocks. So it just depends what one I'm gonna do. Today I'm not gonna do one, but if I was, then I'll just add it in when I add the scent in. And then my wax. And so I have this big bag. I'm at the end right now, but I have another one over, but I'm just going to use the end of this. So this is just my wax. So what I do is I'll take a scale and I'll zero it and put my glass microwave jar in there. And so I then take my additive and I add just a little bit, maybe like, maybe about one 1 gram, 1 or 2 grams. Today I did 2. So I just do a little bit. This just, yeah, as I said, helps with the bonding of the colour in the scent. And so I'll put that in. I'm not going to put a colour, but sometimes I'll just put a colour in now too. Just like, again, maybe 1 gram or half, depending how opaque you want it. And then I'll just pour my wax in. And so I pour this, for these candles, they're about, I think they're about 95 grams. Sorry, I'm here. They're about 95 grams. And so I do about 65 wax, like unmelted, if that makes sense, because the melting, it changes the weighting of it, so it fits like fully in the mold. So I can do another video, as I said, about that. It's a bit confusing, but yeah, I weigh out about 65 grams. And so I'm at 30 now. I'll just get it to 65. So we're at like 66 now. I'll weigh that again. We're at 66, so that's fine. So now we're at 66. I can show you. So looks like this. Hope you can see. And so now from this point, I will just melt it in the microwave. So I'll do it just about a minute, and then I'll take a temperature, and then a minute, take a temperature. So I'll do that until the temperature's between 70 and 75 degrees Celsius. So I'll go do that. So while the microwave is going, sorry if you can't hear me, but I'll get my fragrance and I'll measure it out. So because they're about 100 ml candles, then I do about 10 mils of the fragrance, so it's about a 10% fragrance load. So I'll just take, so this one I'm doing today, someone ordered clean linen, so I'll measure that in here about 10 mils. So it's a good idea to do this while it's melting away, because then just saves you time. So I've done that. So I don't know if you can see, but if it sits flat, you know, the 10's like right there. So yeah, about 10 mils. So I just sit that aside. And then it's also good to thread your wick. So I will do that. So at the top of my candles, I curl the wick. I don't know if you can see. Do you see? I've like curled it. So I just like bundle it up into like a wee curl, and just because I think it looks cool. And that means I need to keep maybe like this much sitting at the top, because this is the end I'll curl. And so I'll just sit it like this, upside down. There's the slit, and the wick is in there. Right, so it's like that. I'll just check the wax still is very solid. So I am now going to tie the strings around. So I use the same strings over and over, just so I'm not like wasting materials. So these ones just like get wax on them when the wax like comes out the side or whatever. And so, but that's fine. They still do their job, and it's like reusing materials, so I'm not wasting things, saving the planet. So I've just tied it a little bit. Sometimes it doesn't work so great and the wax will come out, but you know, it's not that hard to fix. So I'll just tie it like in a knot. I use about 2 of them, and then peg it along the side. Microwave's finished. So I'll just tie this other one and peg the side, and then come back when I have the wax temperature. Right, so I have my wax. As you can see, it's like a lot more melted. So I will just check the temperature of this. So it's good to mix it as you check the temperature, so it just keeps the liquid moving instead of hot parts staying in a particular area. So now I'll just sit this on an angle. You don't want the temperature part to be touching the sides, otherwise you don't get an accurate temperature reading. So it doesn't look like it's hot enough at all. I've now tied up and pegged my mold, as you can see, and then put the, I'll try to hold it up so you can see, and then put the wick holder in. And so that's pretty much all ready for me to pour once I get it up to temperature and I get the scent in. And so temperature looks like it's at like 60. So I will put this back in for another like 30 seconds and then check it again. You don't want to get it over temperature, otherwise you've got to wait for it to go back down. It needs to be like between 70 and 75 degrees Celsius. So we'll do that. So I've now got it to temperature. I can check. It's at like 73/74. So I will add the center now. So all I do is just pour it in and then stir, and don't stop stirring for about 30 seconds. If I had a lot more wax, say 300 mils or more, then I would definitely want to keep stirring for like 2 minutes, just because there's there'll be a lot more scent to mix into the wax molecules, because they need to bind together, and that's what the additive does. It helps it bind, so then the scent stays for longer. So if you have the candle sitting, you know, for a couple of years, maybe you don't use it, the scent should still be there. It shouldn't just like waste away. Does that make sense? So I need all these scent molecules to bind to the wax molecules. So I'll just keep stirring that. And yeah, temperature's at now, it's about 76, so that's fine. So now that the scent is in, I need to get this temperature, because it's a palm soy wax, I need to get it up to about 90 before I pour, not over 90. If I have it over 90, then it's going to leak everywhere. It's going to be way too viscous and way too heated and just thin, and that's just going to leak straight out of the mold. So I need it to be at a temperature between 85 and 90 degrees Celsius, and that will hold it inside the mold and then like start hardening. So it takes about 3 hours to harden, to fully harden inside. And so yeah, I'll get this up to about 85. So I'll do that now. So we can see here, oh, there's a bit of a glare, but you can see now like 80 is, yeah, here, and like 90's here. So it's like falling, that blue bar is falling pretty much between them actually, which is really good. I don't want it to get over 90, as I said before, so it looks like it's pretty much stable where it is. So yeah, now I'll pour it in. So pouring it is not very hard. You just need to pretty much pour. Self-explanatory. So I just pour until I see the light, like the liquid coming up. And I don't want to pour too high, because obviously it will come over. So just pour all the way. Oh, there. I think that's a good point to stop. So the thing that molds do, just tap the edge. As you can see, like you can see all right in there, that it's like not fully at the top. And that the thing is with these molds is that the wax has to drop. Like it sticks to the side a bit, but it needs to drop fully. So that line will drop a bit, and then I need to add the rest of this wax back on the top. So just kind of fill it up. Sometimes holes can form because the sides will harden faster than the inside, and then when the inside hardens, it drops, and so then a holes form just at the bottom. But I can just fill it in with this wax. So this wax in here, you can see there's like a bit. So I always weigh out so there's a little bit more. And so all I'll do is just like melt that in the microwave for, I don't know, 30-45 seconds. I don't need to get that to temperature, just so it's fully melted, and just pour it into the holes that start forming, and just fill it back up. And so I'll show you if any of that comes up. Otherwise, if none of that comes up, then hopefully I can just film opening it at the end. Cool, now we wait about 2 to 3 hours. Awesome. So it's a couple hours later and you can see there's the holes formed. So that's because the inside dropped. So all I've done is just melt that wax back down and just fill it back up. Right. So I filled it up nearly, but you can see in there, I'm gonna have to fill it up a little bit more. I've now melted some more, and so I can just fill it up all the way to the top. And there shouldn't be any more holes forming. As you can see now, it's just bubbling at the top. So those 2 holes there will cover up. So I'll come back when I demold it. Okay, so this is completely hard now, I hope. So I will show you how I demold. Hopefully everything works out well. So I just took the first one off because it slipped off. And then I untied the last one. So it's, you know, feeling pretty hard. Quite cold on the outside, so it indicates it's okay. So I find the side with the slit and I just separate these. So I'm just pulling it apart. You can see inside, there's the butt. I'm here. So I just start pulling this apart. So I'm pretty much just peeling it off. So I just pop it out. And there. Put that back inside out. So it's pretty much ready for the next time. And so there. So I'll just trim the bottom. I'll just do that. Grab a knife. Scissors. And just trim the bottom. There we go. Perfect. All finished.